For pulling down what? Now I want us to really get this in our spirit right here with a stronghold. This is, I'm telling you, this is probably, it says, it's probably the secret weapon the devil uses against everybody, even believers. Let's read this together. About this is a secret, and it says secret weapon, but I would offer it is the secret weapon he uses against us. Read this together. A stronghold is a mindset impregnated full of what? Hopelessness. That what? Forces us to accept as unchangeable situations that we know are contrary to the will of God. It is not God's will for us to be down. It is not God's will for us to experience all the things of this world. It is not God's will, but our minds sometimes get set because we have failed so much in the past. We think we're going to fail today and tomorrow. So our lives are impregnated, full of hopelessness, even though we know this is contrary to God's will. What I'm trying to let us know that if it's something that's contrary to the will of God, we have the right, come on, we have the dominion and we have the authority to cast that stronghold down in the name that's above every name and stop signing for a package that God did not send. Stop accepting what God didn't send. He didn't send fear. God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of love and of power and of sound mind. What he gave us was peace. What he gave us was joy. What he gave us was love. And we keep signing for a package that God didn't even give. At some point, this idea of helplessness, and I'm saying this stronghold, and the more we see things not working out, the more even believers will say it's not going to work out. We can never find ourselves impregnated with hopelessness, thinking that situation has not. God has already provided a way out. I say God has already provided a way out. I say God has already provided a way out. So every believer ought to have hope. I may not see where it is right now, but I know it's there. I may not know, but I know it's already there. We believers cannot have our minds set and impregnated with hopelessness that we keep accepting what's contrary to God's will. So what do I have to? So what the stronghold is? A what again? It's a. So what now? What does it say here? Change your. If my mind is set on failure, always going to see failure. But if my mind is set on favor, that's when I'm going to see the favor here. Read this with me, please. The most powerful people on earth are believers. If you believe that, just join me in giving God one more hand clap of praise right now. So if believers are going to walk around scared, and the word is scared, who's not going to be scared? We got to show something different than what the world shows. We know a God who's already healed. We know a God who's already moved. We know a God who's already blessed. So why are we going to keep acting like the world when we already have the power of the universe already on the inside of us? If you know God is mighty, if you know he is good, if you know he is wonderful, please give him one more hand clap of praise as well. So it's time for us to show the world about this amazing manifestation. It's time for us to start realizing our dreams. I want to go back in very quickly now and take a look at spiritual principle number 2. This idea of these opportunities, the definition you already have for realization. Let's just read this very quickly so we can get to the spiritual principle number 1. Here's realization. The first, number 1, read that together. It's the state of understanding or becoming aware of something. I'm understanding. So you understand? We understand more about grace now than we did before. We understand now that we are the righteousness of God, not based on our behavior, but our belief. We understand more than we did before, so now we have realization. What's number 2 say? Read that, please. The act of achieving something that was planned or hoped for. When somebody started college, they're looking forward to that graduation date. When they started high school, looking forward to that graduation date. So when you start, so something finally came to pass that you are hoping for or believing for. That's what realization is. Now, this idea about here, I want to talk about these opportunities. And I really want to walk through here. We are taking a methodical look every week at different steps that help us to get from dreams to realization. How many of us ready to see our dreams realized? Give God a hand, God a praise. So we're taking a look. Every week we have in different steps to get us from dream to realization here. So the first one we talked about was this idea. Now, in order to do that, let's go back and read our theme verse. It's on the front of your bulletin, or you can read it here. 2 Corinthians 3:17 through 18 ESV. Let's read this together. Now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. Is it limitation? 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 Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is no limitation, there's liberation. Keep going, please. And we, who is we? Believers, all with unveiled face, beholding the glory of the Lord, are being transformed into the same image. What image? So whatever we're beholding, if we're beholding, we're being transformed into the image we're beholding. If you are beholding Snoop Dogg with Martha Stewart on a Doritos commercial, you're going to be transformed into what you behold. Now, how they got together, I have no idea. But you can be transformed into what you behold. Keep going. And from the same image, from one degree of glory to another. For this comes from the Lord, who is the Spirit. So behold him. This is our banner right here. Behold him. And we recognize that. Who is that in that silhouette up there? That's us. Read with me right now from Ephesians 2:6. God raised, who's us? Believers. Up with Christ. And did what? Seated him. Isn't that? Sitting down. Seated with him in the heavenly realms in Christ Jesus. I love this. Again, read this together. He, who is he? Will transform you into his likeness. You do beholding. He does the. All right. So what we have. So read this together. You become what you behold. So beholding. Read this. What it means again is to see or observe a thing or a person, especially something that's remarkable or impressive. It's a parent who knew that last quarter the kid messed up in school, got D's and F's, and now comes home with straight A's that they earned. Mm-hmm. Yes. Not changed, but they earned. Remarkable, impressive. So whenever we think about what Jesus did on the cross for us, that was remarkable. It was impressive. And even in the worship we just talked about, I never know how much it costs to see my sins on that cross. Here I am to worship. Here I am to bow down. Here I am to say that you're my God. So the idea was that now when I'm beholding him, all that he has done, I'm being transformed into that same image. So what's the first step? And us now making sure that we're going from dream to realization. What was our first step we talked about? To dream. Now again, some of us have had dreams that were from drinking too much the night before. But we're talking about godly dreams. How do we have these godly dreams that end up going into godly reality? Dreams. We need to do what? Dream big. Read this with me again. Don't downgrade your dreams to match your reality. Keep on going. Upgrade your belief to match your vision. I love that right there. I love that. Here's your dream. Here's reality. Don't pull it down. Come on. Take your reality up to the dream. Take it up to the vision. Write the vision, make it plain. Habakkuk 3:10 says, write the vision, make it plain. It will come to pass. So just because the vision didn't come to pass today and the dream didn't come to pass today does not mean it won't come to pass. You don't pull it down. You get ready to raise up because God did not give you the vision and the dream in vain. What's the next one say? Read this. I love this. Right? Read this again. Don't let someone who gave up on their dreams. Man, how many things have we been talked out of just because somebody said it wasn't going to work? So the idea is to look at the next one. So we talk about dreams. Let's read the first four together. Deciding realization extends above misery, mistakes, and miss. In other words, realization is here. It's above my mistakes. It's above my misery and also above mess as well. So we talk about how God transformed our story. What's the next step we had? What's our next step from last week? To shape. So you got this dream. And it's now taking form. It's now being shaped. And we talked last week about, let's read this together, that we use the acronym, see how adversity prepares, propels, and protects everyone. Nobody wants to go through adversity. You know, isn't that right? Nobody wants to go through adversity. I love what Proverbs, the 24 says, that if you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. Adversity is going to come. I said adversity, well, y'all shouted a minute ago, I said adversity is going to come. Now the thing is, what do I do with the adversity when it comes? It's either I'm allowed to prepare me and propel me or protect me or take me out. So I'm not going to look like adversity if you come see me, but when it shows up, I can make a decision to use it for my advantage. I can make a decision to be better than I was before, and holier than I was before, and stronger than I was before. So right here, so adversity, what is it? Read this together. Events and circumstances that when overcome make us what? Stronger individuals. Come on now. Better equipped to succeed in life. I'm telling you right now, we are honored to know you all because some folk in here, everybody here has been through some adversity and y'all all overcame it and you're showing what God can do by the grace of God. You went through the fire and you were not burned up. You went through the flood and did not drown because it came out better on the other side. I'm telling you, folk who see you today would have no idea what you've been through. Got your fresh fade, hair all did pretty, smelling all good. Nobody knows you've been through what you've been through because now you allow the Holy Spirit to get you to a higher level. It wasn't you, it wasn't me, it wasn't the church, it was God who got you where you are. It was God who brought you through. It was God who did not turn his back on you. It was God who showed you how things work. Because had it been left up to us, we would have given up a long time ago. Adversity came, we would have gone right with it. And adversity now made us stronger here. So what is it right here? Adversity is a bridge to what? A deeper relationship with God. So we talked about this idea of dream. The next step was what again? Shape. Now watch this. Read this with me, please. Oh, watch this. Read this together. The words you tell yourself, what? Shape who you become. What? Your words change your, gotta change your mindset, change your life. Change your words, change your life. Let me go, don't even flippantly talk about, well, you know what, in the midst of everything, somebody out here coughing or somebody out here sneezing or whatever, and you go out here and go joking to say something. No, you be careful about the words that are released. Be careful. Don't play time right here. And I had a student on Friday, and one girl sneezed, and a little boy from Africa. She must have like coronavirus. I'm like, don't make me quiet. At some point, be careful about the words that are being said. I said, well, you ain't like coronavirus. Daddy, be careful about what's being said because your words shape who you become. Keep on talking about, girl, I ain't nothing. Well, girl, I'm just so broke I can't pay attention. Well, the words shape who we become. In fact, we're going to go through, not today, but later on, it talks about these idle words. Just don't use words just in passing trying to make a joke. Because we give birth by our words. I said we give birth by our words. Words have created power. How did God create the heavens and the earth? By speaking and saying. So when we're saying something, we are now giving birth to something. We're creating something. And don't create something you later on got to kill. At some point, we got to make sure we are careful about the words that are coming out of our mouth. Because Proverbs tells us that death and life are where? In the power of the tongue. Your words matter. Change your words, change your life. So here's our next one we're going to do. We go from dream to shape. What's the next one? To plan. Got this dream. It now has shape. And I got a plan how it's going to end up being. This idea of planning. I remember when I played basketball in high school. my mom had, we had this bookcase that was, I think it was